Good evening. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you could hear me. Just give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you could hear me. Thanks. Hello, Anne. Good night. Hey, Karen. Good night. Tell me if you all can hear me. Good. Thanks, Karen. She says loud and clear. Y'all share the live. It's not going to be a long live because I just wanted to come on here very quickly and talk with you about how incensed I became just now whilst scrolling through social media and seeing some of the offerings from the PPP Manifesto that was launched today. And I'm going to deconstruct them one by one. So tonight we're going to start with one: corruption. I want y'all to understand that the PPPC government is promising the people of Guyana to establish an anti-corruption unit. Y'all understand that the PPP is playing in our faces, right? You understand that Irfan, Mark, Jagdio, the whole side of them are simply playing in our faces. This is the same government that for the last year of the parliament, we could not say the word corruption. But here they are, promising to establish an anti-corruption unit. Y'all please make it make sense. Kenrick Bobby says it's a prank. It has to be. They're pranking us. They clearly are pranking us. For 1 year, Manzoor Nadir went to great lengths to make sure that we could not say the word corruption. What does this mean? That we'll be able to say the word corruption now in Parliament? Is that what that means? You all see how ridiculous this government is? They banned the word corruption, but now in their mind, how are we going to refer to this in the National Assembly? And I'm saying we because y'all better vote me back into the National Assembly. But anyways, I digress. How is this word going to be spoken in the National Assembly? How are you going to describe this unit, the anti-C unit? Like, make it make sense. And you have to understand that this is why I have such a problem with the governance paradigm of this PPPC administration. They think that we are all fools. Jagdeo was the one that got up to say, about the type of people that Guyana have. And so clearly you see that paradigm and that mindset walking out here. Not only do you plan to establish an anti-corruption unit after you have banned the use of the word corruption in Parliament, you then say you're going to, let me back up, you disassembled SARA, the State Asset Recovery Agency that was authorized to go after anyone who enjoyed the proceeds of corruption and robbed the people of Guyana of their patrimony because of corruption. I want y'all to understand that that is what SARA was set up for. Jagdio and his crew dismantled it. And now it's coming to tell us that they're going to set up an anti-corruption unit. The irony of that is they will have to be against themselves because anti, of course, means against, and corruption. So it's going to be Jagdio fighting Jagdio because that cabal is the most corrupt in the history of this country. Brothers and sisters, why are we allowing the PPP to play in our faces like this? And then Irfan in his red suit. You know what? There are some other people who wear red suits, but we digress. And what is going on? Why are we allowing this? Why are we allowing this? And then they are going to say, or they have said, that they, Nicholas, they will arrest themselves. Absolutely. This is, this is why people don't respect us. This is why people do not respect us. Because we allow the likes of Jack Dio and them to play in our faces and to believe that they could make fools of us. And we sit down and we take it. It has to stop. We have to stop this. And then they're going to say to us that they will be enforcing the Freedom of Information Act. I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh. But can you imagine? They are going to enforce the Freedom of Information Act. May I ask Jack Dio, Irfan, what is preventing you from enforcing this Freedom of Information Act now? You are in the government. I do not understand. Are you not the government? The last I checked, and as you are so quick to remind people, you the president, why can't the act be enforced now? How many Fridays Christopher Ram and them are outside of the Commissioner of Information Office protesting because Charles Ramsey Sr. is not doing his work. You see, this is why Forward Guyana Movement will introduce theft of honest services legislation. Because if you go to work saying that you're the Commissioner of Information and you're not doing the work, that is theft from the Guyanese people. And that is why you all will be jailed. Because this is utterly ridiculous. You are the government now. Irfan is writing his manifesto like he's an opposition party wanting to get into government. Y'all realize that? Make that make sense. If you listen to Jack Dio on his press conference the last few times, I wondered if Jack Dio was the opposition leader. Jack Dio is complaining about the police. He is complaining about the police. He's blaming the police for the high instances of rape and abuse of women, etc. Blaming the police. Jack Dio is the de facto president. You all make it make sense. Make it make sense. Everything that is in their manifesto, they could have done for the last 5 years. You know what? It means that these people know exactly what should be done for the people of Guyana. They know, but they believe in stringing us along. They believe that they could dole it out. Can you imagine the audacity? I wonder if anybody else is offended the way I feel offended when that has to be a ChatGPT manifesto. They clearly went into ChatGPT and said, create a manifesto for the PPP. Because that is the only way you could explain to me what I'm reading there. And then outside of the fact that they just thief a lot of the ideas from our contract. Guyanese, do we understand that the PPP, Irfan, what's the Prime Minister's name? Mark Phillips, all of them are playing in our faces. Playing in our faces. And does that not make you outraged? It certainly makes me outraged. Because for the last 5 years, you have been playing with the lives of Guyanese. You have been playing with the lives of Guyanese. And we're going to talk about this thing about car importation, irrespective of the age of the cars. My Guyanese people, let us not be fooled by these people. The PPP and their ilk are obviously bad for this country. They have to go. They are obviously manifestly bad for this country. Can you imagine, for the last 5 years in the National Assembly, we have been trying to get information. We've been trying to get information from GCOM and the voters list. Now we have a situation where we don't know how many foreigners are on our list. We don't know how many people are Commonwealth citizens on our list. This is a problem, brothers and sisters, because it means that there are people who will come here and through the machinations of the PPP, when they did away with the requirements for late registration, will get on our list and they will thwart the will of the people of Guyana. This is serious business. This is why our agents are at GCOM yesterday and can't get information on how the voters list is disaggregated. This is why the CEO of GCOM is telling us that the last period for which deaths were transmitted from the registrar's office was February 2025, and we have people who have been on that list dead for the last 17 years and their names are still on the list. Somebody is lying to us. Somebody is lying to us. And are we supposed to just sit down and take it? One man says, I've left this country 17 years. I have never applied for a change of address or anything like that. His address is at a place in Timbuktu that he has never even been to or heard of. But it is his name, it is his date of birth, but he has never lived at that address. Do you all understand what is happening? Do you understand what is happening? And then they come to tell us that we must trust them and that they have the best interests of this country at heart. See them talking about water in the hinterland. This is the government that has been drugging black tanks and giving it to the people without water. We were in St. Monica yesterday. We were at Kabakaburi. The wells that were sunk there are not working. And so you understand. And you know, I usually don't answer trolls, but Sohan Singh, you know, you could see your way off of this. You know, understand, you have to be a very unhappy person to come and see a group of people having a very intelligent conversation to come with foolishness. Y'all dispatch him very, very quickly. I see Ravi Singh say, okay, why was it not objected during the claims and objections period? Ravi, you're absolutely right to ask. Because GCOM cannot present to us a list of those claims and objections. We've asked. They don't know. Don says the opposition parties have to come together and hold GCOM. Yes, they have to. And I'm telling you, if the larger parties or the older parties do not want to hold GCOM's foot to the fire, Forward Guyana will do it. Because this is absolute nonsense. I cannot understand how it is that they expect us to just go ambling down the road to an election as if all of these discrepancies are not there. As if GCOM operates as if these elections caught them by surprise. Huh? Oh, we got elections? That's how GCOM is behaving. Nothing is in place. They're getting by the seat of their pants. And we are supposed to be happy with it. We are supposed to be happy with it. Something is fundamentally wrong. And if we as Guyanese just lay down and allow ourselves to be run over by this PPP train, then woe be unto us and woe be unto our children. As for me, they will be resisted at every turn because this is foolishness. This issue made headlines in the news for months, that in Guyana you can't say the word corruption. But today, Irfan roll out his grand plan. He will establish an anti-corruption unit and he will enforce the Freedom of Information Act. He will enforce the Freedom of Information Act. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're going to come on here tomorrow and we're going to talk about taxes. We're going to talk about their wholesale theft. And mind you, I am the kind of person, I don't believe that any one person or group of people have a monopoly of ideas. This is why I have been at pains to say, and this is why Forward Guyana will implement a national development plan. You have got to have a blueprint for where you want this country to go. And it certainly can be Irfan and Jagdeo and that crew, because they clearly don't even know where we are. Because clearly they're operating like they don't know that their own speaker banned the word corruption. Clearly they're operating like they don't know that the Commissioner of Information does not work. This is why you have to have a national development plan that is bipartisan, that Guyanese will know that, you know what, for the next 10 years, this is the direction that we're going in. These are the projects. These are our urgent developmental priorities. And that is the only way we're going to rescue this country from the insanity that is happening right now. That is the only way that we will wrest our country from this insanity that is happening. I see Sumi Dorjan says, Amanza, I really admire you, but I was disappointed not seeing you the win team, Mom. I still love you. Well, you know, Sammy, I don't know you, but, you know, you're my Guyanese brother. But I will say this. Forward Guyana was born out of, and the movement was born out of realizing that this system does not work. I am not sure what the raison d'etre of WIN is. So if you could explain that to me, that'll be good. That'll be very, very good. Because I've spent time in the National Assembly. I've spent 2 decades working in government, etc. So for me, it is an understanding that this system does not work. It is broken and it must be fixed. You have to tell me what your raison d'etre is, or your reason for being, or your North Star. But I digress. The point is this, brothers and sisters. The point is this. Unless we have serious people who are capable of making sound decisions, this country is going to be lost. And I know business if the PPP trolls come to say, oh, I'm speaking the truth. Unless the people of Guyana rise up and take the destiny of this country in their hands. Unless we prevent the PPP from rigging these elections by voting against them overwhelmingly. And then GCOM either does not or refuses to tell us who their legal officer is. They either do not have a legal officer or they are refusing to tell us who their legal officer is. And it cannot be Claudette Singh because Claudette Singh cannot advise herself. As the chairperson of the commission, she cannot advise herself. So brothers and sisters, listen, you have a sober day coming on the 1st of September. And I'm going to say to you that when you go into the box and you exercise your franchise, understand what you're doing and what you're voting for. And understand who are the people that you could trust with the future of this country. Because that is what you'll be doing. That is what we will be doing. Because we can't... and mind you, they started off by telling us, oh, Guyana, we've been here for 60 years. Yes, and for the last 60 years, we've had to contend with the two big parties. And yet still, here we are. Yet still, here we are. My brothers and sisters, you have a decision to make. I see that Joseph said we're voting for Guyana movement. Absolutely, because I will tell you that we are the real deal. We are the real deal. We are here for the people of Guyana. And you know, people say, oh, you don't say that. I'm going to say that about us because I am confident that the men and women in the Forward Guyana movement are serious about moving this country forward. Barry Jagdeo loves to talk about, oh, they have no experience in corruption. He's probably right. Because if he was so experienced and so all-knowing, then why are we in the state that we're in? Why are the people in the Pomeroon not having fresh water? Why are our children still going to school hungry? And we're going to talk about this transportation voucher. But I'm not going to overload you. We're going to do it one step at a time. Because let me tell you something. By the time we're done, the people of Guyana are going to clearly understand that Jagdeo, Irfan, and all of them are no good for this country. They continue to gaslight the people of Guyana. They continue to as the man said, urinate on our foot and tell us it's raining. That's what they're doing. And because they know that they have sycophants and those who believe in bowing and kowtowing themselves and contorting themselves to get some crumbs from the table, they know that they will run out here and they will defend the nonsense. They do it and they believe that they could get away with it. They believe that they could get away with it the way they've gotten away with the Mahdia 20 children losing their lives, the way they've apparently gotten away with Adriana. But you know what? Martin Luther King said one thing. He says the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. And all of them are going to get their just desserts. But we can't sit down and wait for the divine to intervene. Faith without works is dead. We've got to get up and we've got to vote them out. We've got to vote them out. Because I know they want to rig these elections. We know they want to rig these elections. This is why we cannot have an explanation as to why we have over 750,000 persons on our voters list. And the last census count we had, that was our population size. Somebody explain this madness to us. Somebody explain it to us. Why is our population... And our population may have grown, but we will never know because they refuse to release the census. My people, wake up. Arise from your sleep and slumber. It is time to wake up and understand what is happening and demand answers. Because I will tell you what they want, what they're hoping excuse me, for is that they're limping to an election. They're limping to an election. And once those elections happen and they stuff those ballot boxes so that you got ballot boxes without statutory documents, and because at the recount they've already established something what we call in law a precedent, that it don't matter if these boxes do not have statutory documents, they are to be counted. Understand why the PPP wants the voters list that big, because with such a large number, they can literally rig these elections. They can fake voter turnout. They can inflate voter turnout number. They can fake voter turnout numbers. This is why they know that in spite of the fact that they're so wildly unpopular, Jack Day is talking about a super majority. Our agents were in there on Sunday asking questions that the CEO had no answers to. You know what he resorted to telling us? Oh, put all your questions in writing. Well, the questions will be put in writing, Mr. CEO. The question will be put in writing because this is foolishness. This is foolishness. So my brothers and sisters, let us be aware, let us be wise, let us be sober, and let us be vigilant. Let us not be carried away with you know, with hype and drama. Let us sit down and let us look. When you sit in your homes, get all the literature. Forward Guyana Movement, our contract is on our website, www.forwardguyana.com. Go there, read. An informed population makes informed decisions, brothers and sisters. And so we have got to make sure that we inform ourselves. We have got to make sure that we stand up for this country, because as it stands, we don't know how much people from Bangladesh, how much people from India, how much people from Nigeria and all these Commonwealth countries are in our country padding our voters list. We don't know because we don't have the information. And you know what? I'm going to test this. Tomorrow I will be writing the Commissioner of Information for information. And let me see what they will say is the impediment to them enforcing the provisions of the Act now. That's what we're going to do. We got to begin to test the system, brothers and sisters. Because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And you know what's the sad part? I see somebody talking about racist people. Let me explain something to y'all. And this is why Forward Guyana is intent on breaking the back of this winner-takes-all system. Because it always pits us against each other. And we could be talking serious, grave, weighty matters. And all it takes is for two trolls to come in and to hurl certain stupid remarks. And we begin to turn our attention to that. Ignore them. Ignore them. This is a serious time for serious people. So brothers and sisters, this was a quick live. We've been in the fields all day. As you could see, we were split up. We were all over. We were in Maruka, then we were in the Pomeroon. It has been a lot. But I wanted to come on here to say to you, eyes wide open. This is the future of our country that we're talking about. And I'm sorry to say to those who believe that, you know, their race will somehow give them a pass. It will not. It will not. Because all will be involved and all will be consumed. All will be involved and all will be consumed. And all of you who like to run out and talk about you know, being racist when you talk about racism, etc., your time is up. We're going to talk about it until the cows come home, because we have to break the back of that thing which has held us back for so long. So we're going to come on again. I thank you all for staying with me. Like I said, it was going to be a quick live, but I just wanted to say to you, watch them. You got to watch them. Do not take your eyes off of this PPPC government. They will gaslight you. They will say to you it is night when it is bright day. And they will say to you that it is day when it is the dark of night. And so we have got to be on guard. We've got to guard the future of this country. We've got to guard the destiny of this nation. We have to guard and safeguard the future of our children. So God bless you. I love you guys, and we are going to talk some more about that manifesto. You know, that sounds like if Jack Deal is trying to get in office, like he's not in office and could not have made all of these decisions. So bless you guys. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. I love you all, and God bless our cooperative republic. All right, take care.